Welcome to my Scrappin' Space. I'm Joni Martin. I'm an independent Stampin' Up! Demonstrator located in Southwest Wisconsin, and I'm here to show you the third of 3 cards for my Take to the Sky card class this month. Let's get my face out of the way and let's make some cards. Take to the Sky is a new suite in the new annual catalog. If you don't have the new annual catalog and don't have a Stampin' Up! Demonstrator, reach out. I'd love to get this catalog in your hands. It's a great catalog. So this is, as I said, the third of 3 videos sharing 3 cards for my May card class centered around Take to the Sky. Let's look at our last card. Are you someone who pays attention to postage stamps when you pick up stamps for your cards? I do. Like, I have a whole container of different stamps I put on depending on what kind of card I'm sending. And this card is a play on postage stamps. So in addition to the papers from this suite, I use the dies called Perennial Postage, and I use the smallest square die in here. This card really goes together pretty quickly. Once you do one, you're like, oh, that makes sense. And then once you do one, you think, I could do that with floral paper. I could do it with this paper. It's giving me a lot of ideas. I really like it. So for this card, this color is called Copper Clay, and I know that because the paper pack tells me. And one of the prints in there is this Copper Clay. Let's try that. Copper Clay Plaid, and I just love it. The papers are wonderful. There's all kinds of prints, and the little the paper I cut up for my postage stamps. Sorry guys, I'm just grabbing my paper pack to show you what the big sheet looks like. I love these papers. Maybe? No, maybe not. Oh, here it is. It's the last paper. So here's the paper I used. And this is great because you want to use a somewhat smaller print so you can still tell. This is, you're going to cut squares. I have one left to assemble for you that are 1 1/4 square. So you have to have a print that you can tell from this 1 1/4 square what the item actually is. So let's talk about the pieces. Let's talk about these pieces first. 6 of the smallest square from Perennial Postage. And you're going to glue this on. And the first time you do that, you may think Joni has her numbers wrong. It doesn't fit. What it is, folks, is it just fits because you just want to see like what the perforation tear at the edge. So this is the perfect job for our multi-purpose glue because you can move it around. You don't need a lot. And for me, it's easier to pick it up with the tweezers because that's just where my hands are. Now, because it's square, it doesn't have to be facing up when you attach it. Don't worry about that because you're going to move it around. But then, see how I have just a touch of white showing on each side? And see how much ink I have in my hands. Ooh, sorry, guys. Now, those of you who watch me know that I sometimes struggle to get things centered and I spend too much time on it. So I did some math and figured out what this space around here would be. And I made myself a template. So I just now lay my template. Oh, you know what? Let's do this. Let's attach it to the mat first because the template was cut for the mat. So, and like this would be a great print you could cut up for the postage stamp one. Once you do one, they go together really quickly. I did the first one. I wasn't quite sure, but it works. Okay, so this is going to go right here. I have just a little bit showing. Then I'm going to lay my template down. And you just need to get 1 row in. The second row kind of butts up next to it. So once you have 1 row, you're good. And I didn't worry about a pattern, but I just kind of laid them down. Like they don't, nothing's going to connect. And you just want to make sure though that they're all going upright. And when you have something like this, especially like there's 3 here, I do the center one first and then work against that because that kind of then makes sure it's in the center. These I attached with a dimensional so they pop up. You wouldn't have to do that. Or if it was easier for you, you could attach the print to the postage backing with a dimensional. I happen to just do this. And I just used one and that worked. So that's going to go there. Going to make sure it's going, that the airplanes aren't flying upside down. This is centered. And you could use a paper clip or something to keep it in place. I just didn't grab one before we started filming. And that's going to go right there. Then, really, you could just get rid of that if it's getting in your way. Or you could just eye where you want the first one and go from there. But as I said, you guys know me when I spend way too much time thinking, is it straight? But now I have this to help me. So I'm going to line up this notch with that notch. So it looks like it's a continuous sheet of stamps. And that also then helps me get it straight. And then we're going to do this one. Like I said, this would be one that once I made one, I just kept thinking of all the other things I could do. You could do like a themed one. Wouldn't it be fun to do a Christmas paper that looks like you have Christmas stamps on there? Yeah. And something on the inside that says something about sending, like sending warm wishes your way or something. I love this technique. Okay. And that airplane is going this way. And now I'm going to line up. And I actually just kind of pushed them down. Here, I don't know if you can see that. My hand's probably in the way. But what I did was I flattened it and lined those cut edges up, cut edge to cut edge, like that. Oh, good. I was thinking we were short stamps, but here's two more. I think the image of stamps on a card is perfect for a card maker because really, who sends more mail than we do? And this one's going to go this way, and it's going to match on two sides. There we go. Guys, your card front is now done. Now you could, I did not, you could add a sentiment on the front. I find I do less and less sentiments on the front because then it makes it more flexible. Like I don't necessarily even add a sentiment to the inside till I know what I need. We're almost done with our card. How quick and easy was that, and how fun is that? Okay, so our base is copper clay. Standard card base, 8.5 by 5.5, and I'm going to fold it. I'm going to grab a bone folder. There we go. And this is going this way, and then we're just going to attach it. And we're going to make sure we put it so the stamps aren't upside down. There we go. Now, I felt like it still needed something. And so I grabbed, she said, oh, right here, sorry. Adhesive backed texture dots, a new one. Check these out. This is what I like. They're relatively flat, so I can send them on any card, and they really do have texture. And I'm just going to put 3 of them at the bottom. You, of course, could do whatever you wanted. But I tend to put them in odd numbers. And what I'm doing with this one, because of the design, I'm putting one inside each square. That's why I really liked this paper for this card technique, because I feel like these squares are mimicking these squares. You wouldn't have to do that, obviously, but I just liked it. Now, as I said, I don't know what this card is going to be, but I will attach I'm using the same paper on the inside. So you're kind of bringing the front of the card to the inside. I'm going to use just a touch of glue across the top. Like so. I got a little carried away there, so let's see if we can lift some of that up. And then we'll lay this down. I like to put it right near the top, because again, then I'm not making a decision, is one end lower than the other? It's just all even with the top. And we're going to let that set up, and we're going to do our envelope flap, because we're not sending this great card in a naked envelope. So I have a piece that's 2 1/4 by 6. And I'm putting adhesive all the way around the envelope flap. And then we're going to do that. Just like so. And then we'll trim. This is, once you, again, I keep saying it, but once you do one of them, this card comes together pretty quickly. You could have a whole bunch of those postage stamp backs cut. And then you could, you know, those are just 1 1/4 squares. They go together just like that. Trim this up. I have a lot of birthdays in May, and so I think this will be a birthday card, but you don't know. Thank you card, you know, lots of reasons, lots of reasons. Actually, I have a number of retirements too. This would be kind of a fun retirement, like, you know, going on an adventure or something. When I decide what it's going to be and I stamp the sentiment, that will go in there. Look how good that looks. And there is our third card of the 3 cards for a Take to the Sky card class. I have 2 other videos up on my Facebook page that you can look for. One is that one, and one is this one. We had a little glitch with the program I used for lives tonight, so I'm recording each video separately, but you can go back and watch those 2 videos. Thanks for watching. It really does mean more than I can say. And until next time, take care and keep crafting. It's good for you.